Good evening, people. Welcome back to True Gunners TV. I am absolutely livid. Absolutely fuming, fucking fuming. So, it is 10 past midnight. I am just about to get ready to go to bed. Arsenal have obviously played their pre-season opening fixture against Nürnberg today, drawing the game 1-1. Very underwhelming performance by the team, etc., etc. So, I'm just about to get ready to go to bed with the missus, with the newborn, and Mikel Arteta's post-match reaction video crops up on my phone. So I think, okay, cool. We'll have a little listen, have a little watch of this. Let's see what the manager's got to say about today's performance. Let's see what the manager has got to say about other things surrounding Arsenal. So, we get going. They're asking him questions about the team's performance. He's talking about players having to up their fitness levels, etc., etc. You know, you accept that it's pre-season. You even accept the result today because it's pre-season. You know, it is what it is. Then he was asked about Kai Havertz. Yeah, Kai Havertz. This is a player that, although I didn't particularly want at Arsenal, I sat back and I said, cool. It's all right. If the manager wants him, £65 million or not, if he wants him, that's fine. No problem at all. I will judge him based off the decisions that he makes. And surely he's got a plan for Kai Havertz. He must have a plan for Kai Havertz. You know, why would you go and spend £65 million on a player that has had 3 very average / poor seasons at Chelsea? Nobody really knows his best position. We're losing Granit Xhaka. Maybe there's something in that. Maybe Mikel Arteta has a plan for Kai Havertz. Apparently not, guys. Apparently not. Because here is what Mikel Arteta had to say when asked about Kai Havertz. Asked by the interviewer where he sees Havertz playing following his outing against Nürnberg, Arteta replied, "We will see. We have to see how he adapts and get to know each other and build relationships. Football is about that, and time will tell where he is best." So in other words, guys, what he's saying there is he don't fucking know. He don't know. Yeah? So you've spent £65 million on a player and you don't have a fucking plan. You don't have a role for him at Arsenal. It's just that, well, you know, he's got talent. We see that at Bayern. He's not proved himself at Chelsea. We'll give you £65 million. I don't really have a plan for the geezer. I ain't got a clue. Don't know where I'm going to play him in this Arsenal side. But isn't that the same issue that Chelsea had with him? Jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah, played false 9 for Chelsea last season. Very average. Very, very average. Scored a Champions League winning goal. Whoopie fucking do. But my whole thing with this was, cool. Mikel Arteta wants Kai Havertz. It's an important season for Arsenal because he must compete for the Premier League title again. He must win a trophy. And he must prove himself as a top manager now, because he has spent so much fucking money. Sounds like, guys, we've just spent £65 million on a player that you don't even know where he's going to fit into this Arsenal side. He doesn't have a role. Arteta doesn't know. We've seen the same mistake made a few times by the manager. And the reason why I am so on this particular one is because it is a decision that has been made by him. Nobody else. The reports are all suggesting that he was the one who had to convince the Arsenal board to give him Kai Havertz. Now he's telling us he don't have a role. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. You could have took that 65 million added another 20 on top, and got Caicedo. Instead, we're stuck with a player now who you don't know where his best position is. You don't really have a plan for him and a role within the team. And now it's either going to work or it's not going to work. But going based off of your first interview, being asked by him, it doesn't fill me with confidence. Let's put it that way. And it pisses me off. It really frustrates me and annoys me. Why couldn't we go out there, get a player that he actually has a role for? Somebody that you can go, yeah, you fit here, right, in my team. You fit here in my team. Instead, it sounds like we've gone out, we've gone, there you go, Chelsea, have some money. Go get yourself Caicedo. Yeah, we'll take Kai Havertz from you and we'll see if we can find him a position. If it works, brilliant. We'll look like geniuses. If it don't work, well, we'll dress it up to be, well, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. A bit of a PR signing. Is what it is. Yeah, no doubt if this signing doesn't work out, it'll be Edu Gaspar's fault. Yeah, or it'll be somebody else's fault. The fact is, the manager wanted this guy and he doesn't have a role for him. How, mate? And I feel like a fool because I went against the grain of what I normally traditionally think. Signings like Kai Havertz that we've made in the past, I'd be against it 100%. I'd be like, really? Kai Havertz? Really? And at the beginning of the transfer window, if anybody had told Arsenal fans, you're going to sign Kai Havertz, we'd have all gone, no chance, mate. We don't want him. But I sat here and I said, okay, cool. Kai Havertz, Mikel Arteta wants him. It's a big season for Mikel Arteta. It's a big season for Arsenal. He must have a plan for him. He must have a plan. Let's just wait and see. We watched him play today. He came on at half-time. Underwhelming. Poor performance. Not just by him, but by the whole team. You can't be drawing 1-1, whether it's pre-season or not, against a team that are in the second tier of the Bundesliga. The second tier. And they're not even the good team in the second tier of the Bundesliga. They finished 14th. You know? You have Balogun missing opportunities today. That's fine, because we know what Balogun can do. What do we know about Kai Havertz in the Premier League? Apart from the fact that, you know, he'll sometimes score you a goal. He'll miss more opportunities than not. I genuinely thought that him coming in to this Arsenal team, he would be, and his attributes have this kind of, you know, he can play that Xhaka role. Can Mikel Arteta get the best out of him? Even he doesn't know. Do you know what I mean? Dickhead move by Arsenal, this is. And I'm so angry, so annoyed about it. Because if you don't have a role for the player and you don't know, why bother fucking signing him in the first place? Make that make sense. Yeah, go out and buy somebody who actually fits. Somebody who's raring to go that you can chuck into this team straight away and it improves it. Instead, you're talking about, oh, we've got to build relationships. We've got to do this. I've got to get to know him. What? This is Arsenal Football Club. It's not Love Island. Yeah? Arsenal Football Club. You're talking about, I've got to get to know him. I've got to build football relationships with him. No. Is he good or is he not? Does he fit the team or does he fucking not? Honestly, I'm going to get into a few of your comments, guys, because I want to know what you guys feel about this. Why buy him? Arteta's lost. He's lost. Honestly. Dear. Big up, big up, big up. Freestyle management, clear plan. This is it. And this is a freestyle stream as well, guys. You can tell I'm not very prepared. But like I say, you know, when you hear that crap, you just have to, like, Really? No, I thought my eyes were playing up. I thought my ears were playing up. It's late at night. I should be in bed right now. Do you know what I mean? And instead, I was listening to that bullshit. Honestly. I don't rate Havertz. He has done nothing so far. It's going to be a long season, I tell you. It's going to be a long-ass season if we cannot get the best out of this player. 65 million. 65 million. And the manager doesn't even have a role for him in the team. Or doesn't know his best position. Okay, I understand you don't know his best position. Because we haven't really seen him be playing a set position at Chelsea. But you must, if you're going to make a signing like this, you have to have a plan. A plan. You have to have an idea of where he fits into your team. Surely you've done your research on Kai Havertz. Surely you know what attributes he has and which ones he's good at, which ones he's not good at. Surely. That's why I sat there and thought, okay, maybe he's playing the 8. Maybe he'll play in that Granit Xhaka role because he can go further forward, not have to rely too much on his defensive side of the game, because Granit Xhaka didn't really have to do much defending last season. He was more, get in the box, score goals, create assists. That's the type of thing that a Kai Havertz can give you because he's got the ability to do that. But when the manager's saying, I don't know, doesn't fill you with confidence, does it? You guys having the chat amongst yourselves. It's all good. It's all good. Prime, how we doing, Prime? Big up, Brandon. 18 live viewers, but only 10 likes. Get the likes of people. It should be on at least 15 likes. I know why you're here, Prime. I know exactly why you're here, Prime. Because, as you just said it here, thank you so much for taking Havertz off of us. I want Prime. Let me send you the link, because if you're still watching, let me know in the chat, because I want to get your thoughts on this. Of course, being a Chelsea fan, you're going to say Havertz is shit. Havertz is, this, that, and the other. We're glad to get rid of him. Where do you see him fitting at Arsenal? Because I ain't got a clue, bro. I really ain't. Not now that the manager's come out and said, I don't know. I ain't got a clue. I don't know where he fits. On top of that as well, by the way, I'm sure he was asked about Jurrien Timber and Declan Rice. And of course, he's going to give a little bit of a... he's not going to give too much away, but I'm sure he was asked about Timber and Rice. Potential transfers. I'm sure he was asked about Timber and Rice. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. Just give me a second. Timber, Rice, Timber frame. Jesus. Arteta post. No, we don't want that. Come on. Why is it on images? I don't want the images. Here we go. Let's see what the Mirror have got to say, because no doubt. Yeah, of course. It says Arteta. Fucking adverts. It says Arteta remained tight-lipped. Mate. Mirror, sort your website out. This is absolute rubbish. Arteta remained tight-lipped when asked about Arsenal's summer transfer business as they're closing on moves for Declan Rice and Jurrien Timber. Let's see what he had to say then. They don't have to chat a load of crap, do they? Arteta didn't give much away when quizzed on Arsenal's transfer business. He said, at the moment, we are working with the group of players that is here. We have nothing to announce yet, and when it is done, you will be the first to know? Well, apparently, we're supposed to be hearing about that tomorrow. We'll see, won't we? We'll see. Let me just go grab my phone. I'll be back in just a second. I'm going to send you over the link, Latimer, so you can come on, bro, and talk to me about Havertz. Be back in a sec. I'm going to send it over to you on Twitter, bro. So just give me a second. Sorry, guys. Prime. Right, I've just sent you the link, bro. Just sent you the link. Let's get into a few more of these comments. Havertz isn't fit for purpose. Gunner 420 says, big up Gunner 420. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling about this Havertz thing. You know, Mikel Arteta having to say, oh, I don't know where he fits. What's all that about? Honestly. What about Fabio Vieira? He's a total waste of £35 million. Arteta wanted him. Another player in it, bro. Fabio Vieira, let's go get him. 35 mil. The guy's a twig. The guy, I swear to God, my 2-year-old son has more muscle than him. I ain't even kidding. It's unreal. Havertz will come good. Might take time, but will come good. This is the problem, right? We don't have time, bro. We need to hit the ground running. We need to be competing next season. No excuses. No bullshit. None of this, oh, well, I couldn't do it because Kai Havertz didn't settle in time and blah, blah, blah. No. You spent £65 million on him. You get the best out of him straight away. You know what is expected of you at Arsenal next season. Compete and win a trophy. Minimum. If that doesn't happen, because Kai Havertz doesn't hit the ground running, or you don't know where Kai Havertz's best position is, whatever it may be, then it's on you, my friend. You know? Don't talk bollocks. Why sign a player for 65 million if you don't have a plan? Honest to God. Arsenal have been doing this for years as well. How many years did he sign for you guys? I think he's on a long-term contract. I think it's about 5 years. I think it's a 5-year contract, bro. Honestly, 5 years. Kai Havertz. Prime's got the link, by the way. Here he is. Prime, talk to me, bro. I'm going absolutely crazy about all this at the moment. Mikel Arteta coming out saying he doesn't have a position for Kai Havertz. He doesn't know his role or anything like that. Why spend 65 million on him? I don't know.
Yeah. We had a lot of that for 3 seasons of not knowing his best position. The thing is, right, he says he's a forward. He says he's a striker. But people said that we played him out of position. The thing is, we've played him everywhere to try to get the best out of him. When he first came for 6 months, Frank Lampard played him as an 8. That didn't work. Frank got sacked. Tuchel came in. We played him as a false 9. We played him as a real 9, as a striker. We played him in a front 2. We played him as a 10. We played him just off the right. We played him just off the left. He's I don't know. Maybe he's just not suited to the league. And I look at Arsenal. Like, you were right in what you were saying, that this to him coming good in a few seasons. Arsenal don't have that time. Maybe where you guys were a year or two ago, where you were finishing 8th and 5th, and you were giving time for Saka and Martinelli and the rest of these young players to develop and improve. But you're at a point now where you're challenging and you're trying to take that next step on to win. you don't have the time to sign players who are not potentially. You don't have time to sign players who are at risk and are going to take time to develop. Because, but I don't know. Maybe Arteta has a plan, but when you sign them, and even though it's still only preseason, you're saying that you don't know where he's best going to play. Like that doesn't really give your fan base much faith, does it?
Not at all, bro. Like you're right. You're right in what you said. So I'm going to try because obviously you're more than happy at the fact that Arsenal have bought Kai Havertz for 65 million. Todd Bowley's probably running all the way to the bank thinking, oh my God, how the hell have I pulled this one off? 65 million for a player that is complete dud, doesn't work, for us. Because obviously you've played him in a number of positions at Chelsea. Now, I've always said that Chelsea are a very dysfunctional team at the moment. They haven't got the function correct within their team at the moment. Whereas we are a very functional team. We are very, like, the way that we play is a set way of playing. Like, where do you see Kai Havertz's best position being at Arsenal?
Well, even that, I kind of disagree. Last season, fine, we were abysmal, but I don't want people to pretend as if we've only seen one season of Havertz. He's been here for 3 years. And even when we were good, and we were high flying and we were, winning the Champions League and beating Real Madrid and everything, he was good, he was functional, but he wasn't tearing up trees. He wasn't special, and take away the Champions League goal, or even if you include the Champions League winning goal, he hasn't done anything to show that he's that guy and he's worth spending this big money on and building your team around. I look at Arsenal and I hear that apparently he's being signed to play in the midfield 3. I've seen him play as an 8. That doesn't really work. I see him play for Germany and they play him as a 10. And he's not really the best there either for them. I don't know. I just think people say that I've heard some Arsenal fans say he'll play the Xhaka role and he's an upgrade on Xhaka. I don't really think that's true because even though Igal says Xhaka played as a second striker last season, which I don't think that's the case. But when you look at what Xhaka did, particularly last season, and he was basically like a box-to-box 8. There's a lot of times where he tucked into midfield with Partey and they sat together as a 2 because Odegaard's not going to do that work. Odegaard's not going to do that defensive role, and you can't leave Partey or Declan Rice sitting on their own. Because when you play, not even against the bigger sides, when you play a team like, like a Brentford or whoever, these sides can do something and sucker punch you if you just leave someone sitting on his own. Havertz isn't going to be that guy to do that work either. It just doesn't. It doesn't seem like a smart thing to do. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He might have. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a smart sign. You guys were linked with. Apparently, I don't know if this is true, but apparently you guys wanted Mount, and then you came out with Havertz. Is that the case?
That's a typical Arsenal thing. Yeah, apparently Mount was our first choice. Now, the Mount one I can understand because Mason Mount, one thing that you can give Mason Mount is he works hard off the ball. He will press, he will do all of that. It just seems to me like Arsenal have gone, okay, we couldn't get Mason Mount because he'd already made his decision that he wanted to go to Manchester United. That's fair enough. So who else can we get from Chelsea? And I'm not being funny either, but how many of our Chelsea signings have ever worked out? Like the football club just don't learn. We've had your cast-offs, your Willians, your Jorginhos, your Petr Cechs, William Gallas's, all them players that were, past their best, past their best years, going on towards the end of their career. And it's almost like Arsenal have gone, well, the cast-offs didn't work, but Kai Havertz is only 24, so we'll give him an opportunity. Like, that don't make sense to me. Like, what if you... And the reason why I backed this signing is because it was something that we've been told that Mikel Arteta pushed for. Nobody else. Mikel Arteta apparently had to convince the board to sign Kai Havertz because a lot of the Arsenal hierarchy was like, I don't really know about this one. And he was the one who said, sign him. 65 million, sign him. So for him to come out and say, I don't really know where his best role is. I don't really have a plan for him in this team. Like, really? So we've just given you guys £65 million. So you can put that towards going and signing Caicedo. When really and truly what we should have done is kept that 65 million, added another 20 on top and gone and got Caicedo ourselves. Am I right or am I wrong here, Prime?
No, I don't know. I just like you. So this is an Arteta signing. Like this has to work out, and there is no, because I know what the excuse will be. Like if his first season doesn't work out, it would be like, oh, he's in a new team. He needs to get used to playing, Arteta ball. Look what happens at City. It took Jack Grealish a whole season to play well under Pep. Give him time. People will make excuses for this Havertz guy. But he's just, I don't know. He's just not it. And maybe Arteta sees something. Maybe we're all wrong. But this will be all the good faith Arteta's built up over the last season, the last 2 seasons. Like he's gonna die on this Havertz hill. If it doesn't work, all this good faith can get erased with this Havertz transfer.
Yeah, I agree, mate, because I said it myself. I like the fact that Arsenal are giving the manager the players that he wants. There's nothing worse than having a manager there and giving him players that he don't want. Prime example would be Unai Emery. Unai Emery, it's very well reported that Unai Emery wanted Wilfried Zaha. Arsenal gave him Nicolas Pepe. It's very widely reported that Unai Emery wanted Thomas Partey. Arsenal gave him Lucas Torreira. So when you're giving the manager players that he doesn't want or he doesn't feel like he can work with them, you see what happened to Unai Emery at Arsenal. And now you're seeing him at Aston Villa. He's not a bad manager at all. He's probably one of the best in the league. He's won multiple Europa League trophies and that abroad with Villarreal, with Sevilla. He can do it at loads of different teams. Didn't work at Arsenal because we didn't give him the players that he wanted. So I was quite happy the fact that Arteta is getting the players that he wants. And that's fine.
Yeah, but he also needs the right player profile. Like, for example, the right player profiles. Like, when you look at Klopp, I mean, he wanted, for example, Julian Brandt, whereas the Liverpool Scout Network, they're the ones who got him Salah. So you can have, like, for Havertz might be his profile, it might be the right profile, but it's the wrong player. That can be the case where you have the right profile in mind of a player you want, but the particular name is the wrong one to get. I think there's other profiles out there, especially if Havertz is going to be a squad player. Spending 55, 60 mil on a squad player when you could have used a lot of that money to get other positions, it doesn't make sense to me anyway.
This is the other thing, Prime. It's not like Arsenal are set in stone now and can go out next season and just hit the ground running. We've got all our players in. Like, regardless of Declan Rice and Yuri Timber, we still need a striker. We still need another midfielder. And we probably need a right winger as well for Bukayo Saka. So for us to go out there and spend 65 million on Kai Havertz, which is a total not a risk, but in my mind was a risk worth taking because it was a risk that the manager wanted to take. And then now the manager saying, well, I don't know. I don't know his best role. I don't know his best position.
Havertz, he can cover right wing. He can play in midfield. He can cover as a 9 or as a false 9.
I'm
So
sick of these players that are the jack of all trades and master of none. If you're going to win a Premier League title ahead of Manchester City, treble winning Manchester City, Centurions Manchester City, this is the team that we're talking about here. You have to have players that are not only versatile, but can adequately play a certain position to a top level. Is there any position on the pitch that Kai Havertz can play at a top level? The answer is fucking no. So why do it? I don't understand. It's frustrating, bro. It really is. Anyway, Chelsea. I see a few emojis on Twitter earlier saying about Kai saying who's going to be wrapped up very soon.
hopefully, yeah.
Do you think you boys are going to do any more business? I'm surprised that you're actually signing, quite a few players. I thought you would have been concentrating on getting rid of more players.
Oh, we have, bro. We've got rid of. So obviously Havertz is gone, Mount is gone, Aspie is gone, Ruben Loftus is gone, Pulisic, Koulibaly, Kante. I'm probably missing a few players as well. Mendy's gone. That's 8. We've got rid of and Gallagher's being linked with a move to Tottenham. We've got rid of basically all of the deadwood, which is quite amazing. In terms of players incoming, it seems like we'll get Caicedo. I think we might get one more midfielder potentially. We're being linked with a striker, and we're being linked with a goalkeeper. So it seems like we're
Balogun as well.
Balogun. I don't think you won't sell us to Arsenal. Arsenal won't sell him to Chelsea. We won't get him.
I wouldn't be so sure, bro.
He's good. So sure. I do like him, even though he's very young. Like he is good, but I don't think we'll get him. I don't think he'll come to us.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens for the remainder of the transfer window. Arsenal's business ain't done. It can't be done. If this is all we're getting, then I think we'll struggle for top 4 next season, to be honest with you.
I disagree. I think you guys will still challenge.
Do you reckon?
I think people underestimate just how good Arsenal are. Again, with the Havertz signing, whether that's enough to push you over and actually win the league is to be determined. But in terms of minimum challenging for the league, I expect you guys to do that, yeah. How you guys were last season, how consistent you were, because you guys there were quite a few games last season where if that was Arsenal from previous seasons, you guys would have crumbled and fell away. When you lost 3-1 in Man United, the game where you played against Fulham, and I think you drew 2-2 or something, you guys had little moments in the first half of the season where typical Arsenal would have set in and you would have crumbled and fell away and then finished like 6th. But you didn't. You clung in together, and especially your fan base, where you guys were last season, I think you need that again. I said that many times. Like, part of why you guys were so good was because your fan base were so unified together that your players felt like they were playing without pressure and playing with freedom, and they're allowed to just be free and relaxed. You guys need that again. You need your fan base to be unified and be together. And even if you may have bad moments with, say, Havertz not clicking or whatever, you guys just need to. If you guys want to go at it again and potentially try and win the league again, your fan base needs to be more unified and less toxic.
Okay. Where do you see Chelsea finishing next season?
5th, 6th.
Is that as things stand?
No, even if we get all our work done. Because I assume everyone else will get the work they need done as well. And I look at our squad and I look at our manager and I don't see it being just as good or better than Arsenal, Man United, Newcastle, and Liverpool. You guys have had your squads together longer. You've had your manager there longer. The philosophy's been built in for longer. I think we'll have good moments and we'll have bad moments, and I think we'll be similar to how Man United were last season, where they were good for good periods. They were average for certain periods, and even though they did get top 4, part of why they got top 4 was because Chelsea and Liverpool were extremely bad. If Chelsea and Liverpool performed to how everyone expected them to last season, I think United finished 5th or 6th. And that's how I see it with Chelsea. We'll have a good season in terms of how we perform, and the only way we get top 4 is based on how the other teams who are supposed to be better than us perform, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Listen, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Get yourselves in the comment section after the video is over. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this Kai Havertz deal with the whole, Arteta saying that he doesn't know his role and all that. It's so frustrating being an Arsenal fan. But there we go. Thanks for jumping on, Prime. I appreciate that, bro.
Oh, speaking of which, sorry. Should this be what are your expectations with Arsenal? Because I've said that this should be Arteta's last season if he doesn't win anything.
Oh, 100%. 100%. My expectations for Arsenal next season is to compete in the Premier League and go close to winning the league or closer, because I'm not going to sit here and say we have to win the Premier League, because when you're fighting against a team like Manchester City, there's no guarantee. But I want us to get closer to winning the league next season. And we was close last season, but we have to make progress, if that makes sense. He needs to win a trophy, 100%. For me, minimum FA Cup. Has to win a trophy, because it's been 3 years since he won a trophy. And the last time he won a trophy was with players that he deemed not good enough. The Unai Emery players, the Arsene Wenger players. So he hasn't actually won anything with the squad that he has built. And then in Champions League, I expect us to make the last 16 at a minimum. So that's my expectations. If any one of them is not met, then you have to sack him. It's as simple as that. You cannot go and spend nearly £700 million since he's been here. He's signed, as it stands at the moment, he's signed 26 players as Arsenal manager, and then not have the expectation to compete for a league title and win trophies. You just can't. And if it's the case that he doesn't do it, or he can't get us over the line like we have seen over the past 2 seasons, when it comes to top 4 and actually winning the league, then sack him and go and get somebody else. That's how I feel.
Yeah, no, that's actually spot on.
I'll get behind him and I'll get behind the team, but they have to show me something. Last season, a lot of fans and that watch me on the terrace and whatever think I'm a negative Arsenal fan. I just want to win. It's as simple as that. And last season, you see a different side of me, because I actually got behind him and I got behind the team because they were showing me something. They was actually going for a league title for once. They was actually, competing with Manchester City, when, if we're being completely honest, at the beginning of the season, nobody really expected us to be up there at all. Everybody expected us to kind of be in and around 4th, 5th place. Now, like you said, a lot of that could have to do with the fact that Liverpool was so poor, Chelsea was so poor, United were, in their first season with a new manager. But to go that close to winning a league title against this Manchester City team, with Haaland in there as well, you have to give him props. And that's why, this season, I'll get behind him. But at the end of it, I will criticise if criticism is needed to be done, and I will call for his head if it doesn't work out. It's as simple as that. And I think that's how every Arsenal fan has got to be from now on. None of this toxic positive crap. Everything's all great and this, that, and the other. I see Dowd on Twitter, TikTok, saying that we could win the treble. What is he on? What drugs is he on? Because I want some. So, yeah, that's my feelings on it. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap this up because it is, 10 to 1 in the morning here in the UK. I am absolutely knackered. And we'll be back tomorrow with some more content, no doubt surrounding transfers. Will Arsenal actually announce Timber and Rice tomorrow? Who knows? Thanks for jumping on, Latimus. I appreciate that, bro. And
Anytime.
yeah, you're more than welcome anytime, bro. And we will see you guys soon. Peace.